Hey guys. So I figured I would make this video to just to tell you that Sparta has passed away. Um, I found him this morning in his beanbag. He slept in this giant beanbag because he's a spoiled cat, as he should have been. And we all kind of slept in this morning because the kids stayed up kind of late last night playing with the fireflies out here. And anyway, I woke up and I came downstairs around 8:15 a.m. and I was shaving and I heard a weird meow and I was like, oh, that's weird. And I thought it was Gadget at first, and so I did the meow back, whatever, trying to find him, and Gadget wasn't there. And I looked in the beanbag and there was Sparta. And usually at this time, Sparta's like, food, hey, hello, food, it's food time, and I thought, wow, that's not good. So I grabbed Sparta up and cradled him like I do, and he meowed at me, and I said, oh, what's up, what's going on, buddy? And I was looking at him, and he's breathing really fast, and I'm panting. And I was like, oh no, this is not good. So I took him into the kitchen and I sat him down so I could get down to his level and look at him and whatever. And when I put him on his feet, he just flopped over. I after Loki, I know the signs of this stuff. And I mean, I'm not a vet, but it was pretty clear to me that Sparta was not okay. And then that's when I told my wife Kristen. I said, hey, get the kids, I think this might be our goodbye. So Kristen went upstairs and got our daughter Chell, who was getting ready to turn 4, and Atlas was there, who just turned 2. And because this is an opportunity to teach kids about life and death. So anyway, we said our goodbyes to Sparta, because I was pretty certain, and I was right, that the position that he was in and the way he was not good. So that's when I made the video, the last video you guys probably saw, Sparta's last video, of us saying goodbye to him. I didn't want to shoot too much more with him because he was suffering, and I promised that boy, I said, I won't let you just go through this. I mean, I'll fight tooth and nail to keep you as long as you're going to be healthy on the other side of this fight. And anyway, so I took Sparta to the vet, and he was just fighting. He was not feeling well. Got there, and they took him in. I had to wait in my car at first because of this COVID stuff, and the doctor called and said, Corey, I've got bad news for you. This doesn't look good. She said that Sparta suffered what's kind of like a stroke, where he had a blood clot that clotted up in his rear legs, which paralyzed him. Down to his legs or whatever. And she said that it's called a saddle aorta or something like that. And she says, they were his regular vet, and they didn't see the heart disease in him at all. And she said, it's hard, and I understand that. And she says, what do you want to do? I said, can we fight? What can we do? She's like, look, I'm going to be honest. She said, I can push. I can pump him with all the medications, and maybe we can get him back home and feeling better. She says, but look, Corey, I'm going to be straightforward with you. It's going to happen again. It's inevitable. He's at this point. You're just waiting for this again. And so that's when I told her, I said, well, that's I can't do that to him. I can't let him suffer. I can't, for my own thing. That would be selfish of me to let him suffer. So I gave the okay to euthanize him, and I said, I have to be there, please. So they let me in. I went into the vet, and there's a little switch. I learned this with Loki. There's a little switch. They brought him in, and they said, when you're ready, you flip this little switch on the other side of the room to tell the doctor to come in to give him the medication. But Sparta, when they gave him to me, he was suffering. Like, it was not easy. It was like Loki was easy because he was already lethargic. He didn't have a whole lot of food and all of this. But Sparta went from being perfectly fine to this. And so he had energy, but he couldn't do anything about it. So he just hurt. He just, and it was so much so that like he had dug his claws into me a little bit, and I understand, dude, are you kidding me? Like, he's dying. And so I had to like jump over very quickly and flip that switch for the doctor to come in, and I felt so horrible. I'm like, I didn't even get like a minute and a half with him, but at the same time, it's not about me, it's about him. And there was so many things that I wanted to say to him, and I did, with my heart, and the doctor came in about 2 minutes later, so I had a little bit more time with him, and he calmed down a little bit, but he was still not happy. And so she came in, she's like, okay, I'm gonna give him the sedative now. And I said, okay. And I looked him in the eye the entire time. I just looked at Sparta in the eyes, and I just told him everything I felt. I didn't want him to be alone. I wanted him to know that he was loved, and that that he wasn't going to suffer anymore, and that I didn't break my promise. And then I watched him ease. It was just a sedative at first. And then the doctor said, okay, I'm going to go ahead and give him the medication that will stop his heart. I said, okay. I just kept looking at him right in the eye. I watched him go. I watched him leave. I just told him how much I loved him and how much I appreciated him and how much I'm glad he was able to make such a difference in so many of you around the world. It got easier once his fight ended. Once he stopped being combative. But it's not easy. It's just, I know he's not suffering, So, made one last video on Instagram to, let everybody know, because I'm going through this, and I know a lot of you guys are going through this too. And so, story continues. I having a hard drive home. Of course, I'm alone. I get home. I felt like, okay, I'm composed. And then of course I start seeing like his food bowl, his toys and his things broke down again. And now the hard part is my daughter, who, like I said, is getting ready to turn 4, doesn't understand the process of life. And she was sad when she saw him, when she said goodbye, because he was there. But when I came home without him, she just said, but we still have Gadget. Yeah, honey, we do. And, then I had to sit down and try to have a real conversation with a 3-year-old, 4-year-old about death and what that means and all that. Of course, as much as I tried to explain it, it didn't come across, and that's okay. That's okay. I gave it a true shot, and yeah, so she's happy and oddly confused, and I get it. But there's so many other things now I'm just dealing with, and I think I made a wise decision on this channel. I think you guys are aware that I was pretty much stopping making videos, and mainly because like Sparta was getting older, and I'm getting older too, and my interests are changing, and my life and career goals are different, and life, life. And he wasn't the cat on camera, he was just my boy. And while he was off camera, he was just my boy. Cuddling and still playing and battling and wrestling with Gadget and doing all the things. Even this week, he was just his normal self. Until this. What I want from all of you today in Sparta's memory is to simply love your animals. To simply give them more love today. To spread love, to appreciate the things that you have, appreciate the family that you have, appreciate the love that is in your life. Because Sparta, that's all he was. He was barely a cat. Sparta was this love energy thing that just like looked really mean, but wasn't. He was just love, and I'm so glad I got to know that guy. Man, my longest roommate ever. Yeah. Anyways, I think that's it. I was gonna make a, really long, special, dedicated video to Sparta's life, but I think he did it. I think Sparta has already done that. I think his life was so much more impactful than anything I could possibly create on my own. So this is going to be the last video I make on this channel, on The Mean Kitty. And with my final words on this channel, I just want to say thank you. Thank you for all of the years. Thank you for all of the love, and thank you for all of the support. Keep loving your pets. Keep loving each other. Just live your best. Thanks for watching, guys. I don't know how else to end it. Later.